Hey friends, this is Life Coach Rich, and today we're looking at I need to pressure wash and seal the wood deck. And I was doing it, I was pressure washing it earlier, and then I was having some problems with the pressure washer kept stopping. So I'll show you some of the stuff that I already did. Basically, you want to pressure wash it, and then and you want the wood to get. You're doing two things. You're basically cleaning the wood, and then you're opening the pores of the wood so that you can put the sealer in there. This time, I'm actually going to try oil. I have plenty of oil that I change out of the vehicles, and so I'm going to put oil on there, motor oil, instead of the wood sealer, because the wood sealer is very expensive. And I've seen a lot of people do that as far as oil, and I'm going to try it. So this is some areas that is already dried, and if you look closely, you can't really see it here. You can see it there a little bit. I'm going to do the ends as well, but you can see, you know, that it's opening the pores up there. And then obviously you see the difference between, you know, what is not, haven't sealed the deck in a couple years, so it's time. Try to pressure wash it and then let it dry for a couple days and then seal it after that. And then, so just as a tip, as I'm washing, as I'm getting ready to wash stuff off, I always spray ahead. I spray ahead to make sure it's all wet, and then it's easier whenever I'm going over it. So I always spray ahead just to get it wet, and so it's so that it's not completely dry. And then now the first time I'm touching it is when I'm coming down and doing the runs down the boards. For me, this is a white nozzle. This is 35% spray instead of the yellow, which is 15. And then so for me, I'm doing about half the board, and then I come back on the other half of the board, and that seems to cover everything really well. I'm making sure I overspray and get into the gaps right here. And so that's working for me. You just have to, and then that's going to vary a little bit related to the you know, the strength of the pressure washer. I have a 3,000 psi one, so that's about it. If you had a lower pressure washer, you might have to do something different. But anyway, that's what's working for me. Okay, this is gonna stain the deck with oil. So some used motor oil. Just gonna stain it straight motor oil. You can see the color of it right now. But we're in the Texas sun, so we're trying to get the maximum protection out of the protectant. But at a cheap price, so we're gonna see how it does. Well, this is 2 days after doing this section over here. Did all of these, and then this section over here, and it's just going incredibly slow. I've got a 3/8 inch nap, and so it just doesn't hold a lot of oil. And so also there's a slight cupping effect. So there's the edges, sometimes on some of the boards, then there's a slight cupping that happens as it dries. So I'm gonna switch to 3/4 inch nap. It's a lot more material there. It's for heavily textured walls. So on this right here, then I think that'll be able to hold a lot more oil and help me go a lot faster covering. It's painstakingly slow, a lot slower than I thought with the 3/4 inch nap. So maybe a 1/2 inch nap would be enough, but I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna go straight 3/4. And then we should have plenty of ability to cover it so I can make some more progress. Yeah, the 3/4 inch nap is the way to go. It has plenty of oil in it, and so then it's thick enough to be able to take care of any cupping of the board, and then also any ridges. So you've got plenty of oil there. Yeah, this is the way to go, man. It was just so painstaking. I could only go like 2 feet sideways. I could just go one board 2 feet, and then I have to go to the next board 2 feet, and the next board 2. And it's just, oh my goodness, it's taking forever. So 3/4 inch nap's definitely the way to go. Looking pretty good. That's how it's coming out with regular oil. If you wanted a more golden color, then you can mix it 50% oil, used oil, and then 50% diesel. But this is the straight oil. Looking like it's coming out pretty good. Well, here's the deck, and I think the staining with the oil, 100% used oil, then I think that all went well. I would just recommend, you know, the 3/4 inch nap, and then I'm doing 1 to 2 boards a good bit, and then I'm getting more oil on it, and then do it again. So I was just working across in sections You could see the oil soaking in immediately, and then I would cover it one more time, you know, just to have a good coverage on each board. And I worked my way all the way across. There was some sections that I did like right over here. Then I had done it one day and then came back the next day and then did some more. I don't really see a difference in color. Maybe this right here might be a little slightly darker, but I had oil kind of setting there for a couple days. You know, so it just didn't absorb in as much because it was already a second day. So I would just recommend doing a coating, you know, a couple of boards, get some more, and then do a coating right there, and then that's plenty enough for you to coat the board really good and keep on moving down. If there was any knots and stuff, because this is like pine, then I'd make sure I saturated the knots good and stuff. And anyway, I think it turned out great, and I used about, so there's a half empty, so you know, 5 gallons at least of used motor oil, and so that was how you stain the deck for $0 instead of paying like 30 bucks for Thompson Water Seal per gallon. It came out with nice brown color, and this is just baked by the sun in the Texas sun. So I'll see how this lasts over the how long this lasts. Thanks. Hopefully it's helpful. Please share, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.